Hi guys, I'm taking a look at For Honor. The beta dropped this weekend. I played it a couple of hours on Friday when it first dropped, and then I became extremely ill and have been in bed ever since. And I've got up today, tried to play it, but my eyes are like piss holes in the snow. I've just been ill. Not drink related or anything like that, just caught a flu. My lungs is bad, my throat, my head, my eyes. I can't even open them, so I'm just having my eyes shut while I'm actually recording this. It's awful. I can't play this anymore, I don't think, which sucks because that means you're not going to get much footage, because I wasn't really recording much on Friday. I was only recording little bits and bobs. I have tried to play it today, but I just can't. I can't bear all the movement on the screen and shit. But I have played it enough to give you a lowdown on what the game's like, because I'm sure not all of you got into the beta and you want to know, is this game any good? Well, it's going to have a full single player campaign, which isn't in the beta, so all we have in the beta is multiplayer and the tutorials on fighting. So as a huge Mount & Blade fan and a huge Chivalry fan, I was very keen to play this game because I love multiplayer sword and shield games. I just absolutely love them. This was pretty disappointing, I have to say. Now, it is very skill based, so don't get me wrong, and I know I need to play it a lot more. I'm shit at it at the minute. I've only played it for 2 hours, so obviously I'm shit. So I can see how practice is going to make perfect in this. I would say it's more skill based than Chivalry. Mount & Blade, well, Mount & Blade is more about the whole picture rather than just the combat. I don't want to go into Mount & Blade, but it is a very skill-based game. The problem with For Honor is it's pretty much it's like a console version of Chivalry, or a console version of Mount & Blade. It's more closer to Mount & Blade than it is Chivalry, I would say, and it's awful with a mouse. Awful with a mouse and keyboard. I actually had to use a controller with this. Now, I can't use a controller. I don't know why, but I'm addicted to the A key on the Xbox controller. I just want to keep pressing A, and so every time I'm in a battle I just keep spamming A, and I don't know why, because all A does is roll. It doesn't attack. Me head is hardwired. Press A. A is the button, Mac. A, press A. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, A will win at the end of the day, and it doesn't. I just get killed, but I can't stop pressing A. I might actually go and see my doctor and see if I can get some kind of counselling. Maybe I've got an addiction to the green A key. I don't know. It just looks nice. It reminds me of apples, and I love apples. I like apple juice, and it's like A, and it's A for apples, and it's green like apples. And anyway, the control is this. You go into what's called a guard mode, which locks you onto the enemy, which I don't like. You also then from guard mode have a series of combos that you can do. There's not many, 3 or 4, well no, there's actually about 6 or 7 combos that you can do depending on your character. And the problem with this game is you don't look at the character. It is such an immersion breaker. The enemy has a little, around about his chest, his belt, his buckle, you'll see arrows. Now them arrows tell you what stance he's in. It's either going to be up, left or right. Now what that means is if he is on stance to the right and then attacks you, you have to match that to block. All you do with the right thumbstick is match that, is just move it right, and you will move into a right hand stance. Now he might feign it and then immediately move to left, which means he'll hit you. You also have to make sure that if he's in, say, the top stance, you don't attack to the top. Now I hate that. I absolutely fucking hate that, because that is bullshit in a sword fight. It's absolutely bullshit. Why can't I just look at him and not have that on the screen? Why do we need that on the screen? It's so dumbed down. It's so dumbed down for a sword fighting game. I want to say if his sword's up in the air, then block that. If his sword's coming from the right, block that to the right. If his sword's coming from the left, block that from the left. I don't need fucking arrows. I want to look at his face, you know, and stuff like that. So I didn't like that at all. Also as well, it's very imbalanced. I found some characters are really fast but hit so much harder, and it's like, hang on, if you hit really fast you shouldn't hit as hard. And I don't like all this stun lock. There's a load of stun lock in this game. Certain characters can pick you up and carry you away and charge you, and it's... I don't like it, guys. That's the problem. I don't really want to get good at it because I don't enjoy the combat. And that... See, I enjoyed the chivalry combat. Yes, chivalry's flawed, but I enjoyed the combat. I enjoyed that you weren't locked on, that you had to turn your character around yourself fast to the enemy and block and parry and attack. I liked all that. I liked that you watched where his sword was coming from, and you know, and all of this. I like Mount and Blade combat as well, better than I like this. I don't know why they've gone with this kind of combat system. I really don't. It looks gorgeous, but another thing I don't like is the battles are so small. There's only like 4v4. I want like 16 to 20 people in. I want 32 players in. What is it with games now, these AAA games that come out with like 8v8? I was doing 120 player... You've said that loads of times. You know, multiplayer gaming should be multiplayer gaming, not 4v4. Guys, I'm not liking the game, and it's not the kind of game that I want to invest a lot of time to get good. It's just, it doesn't... I don't enjoy the combat, and if you don't enjoy the combat, there is no point in practicing to get good. Now, people have said, but when you get good, you'll enjoy the combat. But I won't, because I don't enjoy the actual combat the way you do it. It doesn't feel like I'm in a sword fight. I don't ever feel like I'm in a sword fight in this game. I feel like I'm just pressing buttons because I have to. You know, arrow says move right. Okay, move right. I don't feel like I'm at one with my sword. And in Chivalry, I always felt at one with my sword. I felt like I was wielding that sword, that I was in that sword fight in Chivalry. Yeah, the combat wasn't brilliant, and it is a bit flawed, but I always felt that I was the sword fighting guy in Chivalry, and that's what makes Chivalry such an amazingly good game. You feel like you are the sword fencing guy, the sword fighter or the axe fighter. In this, you feel totally disjointed from it, that you're doing a kind of a Simon says right, Simon says left, Simon says up, Simon says guard break, which basically means when the other person's in guard, you can actually break that. It's like stun locking, you know, you kind of stun them. And I don't like that. I just don't like the combat. So there you go, guys. I'm not impressed so far with For Honor. It is going to have a big campaign apparently, so we'll see what that is. But I'm assuming 99% of people are only going to buy this for multiplayer. And this isn't being funny, but I really do think it will appeal more to console players than it will to PC players. And I think that's because console gaming is kind of always been like that. So there you go, guys. That's For Honor Beta. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.